All right. So you're going to get drug tested today,
Wow.
and we're going to see what the results are. And if the results are positive, we're going to have another conversation. But for now, he's to enroll in the BIP on March 28th, and he's to restart IOP. So you're still telling me it's going to be negative?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I know what I did wrong, and I'm terribly sorry for disrespecting the court by coming up in this place. And I recently lost 2 jobs, and I was hit by an 18-wheeler inside of an Uber, and that's how I lost both of my jobs. Teacher, and I come from a nice, beautiful family, ma'am.
So because you come from a nice, beautiful family, why are you here?
I'm here.
No, I mean, why are you? Because I've looked at your criminal history. Why are you making these choices? Because you had a choice.
Yes, ma'am.
Buy your phone or take somebody else's phone. You chose to take somebody else's phone.
In our first case, we have a follow-up to a previous upload featuring a defendant who has been struggling to adhere to the conditions of his probation. Facing the possibility of a 10-year prison sentence, tensions ran high as Judge Boyd ordered him to undergo a urine analysis test. Now the moment of truth has arrived. Will the results of the test spell relief or repercussions for this defendant? And in the second case, we encounter a defendant accused of stealing a smartphone. However, what sets this case apart is the defendant's seemingly endless list of excuses for his actions. From elaborate explanations to flimsy justifications, Judge Boyd is faced with the challenge of discerning truth from fabrication. Will this defendant take accountability for his actions, or will he continue to deflect blame with a cascade of excuses?
Mr. Moody, come forward. So we're not on the record. When's the last time you used marijuana?
I haven't used it since December.
No, I mean, unless something is wrong with the laws of
Right.
physics and the time continuum has changed, you should not be positive for marijuana if the last time you used is in December. So let me just tell you something right now. You're on probation out of this court. If you want to continue to use marijuana, you're an adult, that's up to you. But using marijuana while you're on probation is not allowed. It's against your conditions of probation. And guess what? You may or may not end up going to prison for 10 years. And when people ask you why you're at the prison for 10 years, you can tell them because you wanted to use marijuana. And I'm sure at the prison, there's a way that people can make their marijuana. I know there's a way that people can make their alcohol if they so choose to imbibe, but you will be at the prison. And guess what? At the prison, you don't have to worry about catching but one bus. And you know what that bus is? The bus from the jail to the prison. So I am not going to tolerate any more excuses from you, because if you can find time to do marijuana, you can find time to get to Universal City. I don't want to hear this nonsense about I had to walk from Universal City to Converse, because guess what? Those are consequences from being on probation. You need to get a job, and in your job, you need to include reporting to probation and doing your treatment. You should have been done with treatment, but no, you're missing classes. Any other place, guess what they would have done? Maybe issued a warrant for your arrest instead of having this conversation, and you'll be taken into custody and you will be brought out wearing orange or red, whichever category they put you in. Do you understand? And if the roommate you're living with is allowing you to use marijuana where you all live, then that's not a good roommate. But I am not going to tolerate any more nonsense with you not following through on what you need to do. This is the last conversation we're going to have, the last compliance we're going to have. If I get another report and everything is in order, I'm going to sign it. And when I sign it, it's going to be for a motion to revoke. You will have to make bond. If you don't make bond, you'll be brought over and we will hear the allegations. Either they're going to be true or not true. And if they're true, you're looking at potentially 10 years in prison. So it's up to you to make the decision of whether or not marijuana is worth 10 years of your life, potentially, or 1 year, or 5 days. You understand? So do not come back here before trying to get tea and sympathy from me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. And probation on Mr. Moody, if you can make sure that he's tested for levels. And excuse me, to everyone in the box, if you all could move down to that end, because we're going to go on the record on this case. All right, the court is calling 2023 CR 10366, State of Texas versus Claudel Dwayne Carney. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Denny
Okay.
Callahan, defense.
And are you Mr. Carney?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, you entered a plea to count one. You entered a plea of no contest to the offense of aggravated robbery. Punishment is to be assessed at 10 years in the prison. There's an affirmative finding of deadly weapon. The state is opposing your application for deferred adjudication. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state,
Yes, Judge.
defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to the PSI report, state,
No,
defense?
No, Your Honor.
Any witnesses, state,
no,
defense?
No, Your Honor. Only allocution.
All right, state you're opposed
yes.
and why?
Your Honor, it's mainly due to the defendant's criminal history. He does have 2 prior felonies here in Baird County. And he does have an extensive history out of the state in Louisiana. So it's mainly in criminal history, Judge.
All right, defense?
May I present his allocution in writing? I've shown it to the prosecutor already.
And no objection, Judge.
All right, yes, you may. And just give me a moment to read this.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Callahan?
Your Honor, there's a mental health factor in this case, and you can see that in the PSI. Draw your attention to page 9. If he would profit, and so would society if you would give him supervision. He's motivated because now he has a child. To change his life. He's also pushing 40. That's another motivation. The victim in this case was not injured, was threatened, but not injured. And his property was returned to him. I asked the court to consider deferred adjudication with mixed supervision. In the alternative, I asked for 180 days in jail before the imposition of deferred adjudication. I think he would like to say a few words to the court himself.
All right, would you like to speak? Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Name is Claudel Dwayne Carney.
All right, defense?
May he narrate, Your Honor?
Yes, if there's an objection from the state. You may.
Your Honor, I know what I did wrong, and I'm terribly sorry for disrespecting the court by coming up in this place. And I recently lost 2 jobs, and I was hit by an 18-wheeler inside of an Uber, and that's how I lost both of my jobs. And I ventured off to go into the streets, and that was my intention was not to. This guy was my friend at first, and it wasn't my fault that I got hit by this 18-wheeler and lost both of my jobs. But I just want to say that if I could right my wrongs and to try to pay restitutions, and furthermore, I just recently found out I have a child, ma'am, and I came all the way from New Orleans just to try to find her, and I found her. And I deeply apologize, Ms. Boyd, if I know my record is bad, and I'm a good person. I come from a military family, and it's about accountability and holding myself accountable. If I'm wrong, I know what I did, but if I can fix it, man, I have one chance just to fix it. That's all I'm asking.
Anything further?
And recently my brother just passed away, who I stay with. He went to sleep and never woke back up. He had a heart attack. And my little cousin, I just missed both of their funerals, man. I'm sitting in this jailhouse, and I'm realizing how many people is passing away, and time does not stop when you come to a place like this. And mm, I'm tired of my conscience is eating up at me for what I did wrong. But this the hand that I had chose, this the bed that I chose to lay in. And if I can fix it with the victim and help him out as well to try to pay it forward, man, I will. And I would be sure to do that and try to. And also, I don't have no one to look after my child no more, man. My brother was there for her. He was a school teacher. And I come from a nice, beautiful family, man.
So because you come from a nice, beautiful family, why are you here?
I'm here.
No, I mean, why are you? Because I've looked at your criminal history. Why are you say you have a military family, you say you come from a good family. So I don't understand why you're making the choices that you're making in your life. Why are you making these choices? Because you had a choice.
Yes, man.
Buy your phone or take somebody else's phone. You chose to take somebody else's phone.
You know, the crazy part is I had a phone on me that day, man. I had my own phone.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to figure out why you're making these choices.
It was a foolish mistake.
And how old are you?
I just turned 38, man, November 15th.
Right, so there are no excuses. Like, what's the excuse for taking a phone and you say you already had a phone?
We had, me and Mr. Ted, we had got into it. And it was a foolish mistake. I should never did it.
No, it was a choice, not a mistake.
Yes, man.
So I'm trying to figure out, why are you making these choices? You tell me you come from a good family. You have a military family. You now have a daughter in your life, and you came all the way here to find your daughter. You find your daughter, and then you're making these choices.
Yes.
So I'm trying to figure out why.
Okay. I had lost my job, both of them. I was working at Taco Bell in a Ford warehouse, man. And me and my little brother, the one that recently passed away, got into it, and he put me out. And I really didn't have nowhere to go. I was on the streets, man.
What about your sisters?
My sisters, I have 9 brothers and sisters. Once you do one person something wrong in my family, the entire family mad at me. And I didn't have nowhere to go, man. And I went back to the streets, and that was the worst thing I should have never did in my life, man.
All right, is there anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Nothing from the state judge.
All right, what are you requesting?
Nick Miles supervision, Your Honor, and deferred adjudication has, but in the alternative, 180 days in jail as a condition of deferred adjudication.
And state, what are you requesting?
We're opposed to the application for deferred adjudication. We're asking that it was a 10 opposed that you oppose that.
Okay. All right, probation. And this is just because I love to have more information than not information. This is not saying I'm going to rule one way or the other. All right, everyone have a seat. I'm going to think about this.
May I address the court vote?
Yes,
It's 2022-23, not 03.
2003. All right. Thank you.
All comments, viewpoints, interpretations, and insights expressed in this video are for education and entertainment purposes. All individuals featured in the video are to be presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Please do not attempt to contact, locate, or engage with any individuals featured in the video.